All right, so here's the deal. There are 6 things I genuinely believe you should keep close to the chest, and I'm not just talking theory here. A couple of these, yeah, I messed up personally and paid the price. So hopefully I can save you some headaches. Let me walk you through them. Okay, so first up, how much money you make or how much you've got tucked away. That conversation almost never ends well. Think about it. 2 friends sit down, the topic of money comes up, and 9 times out of 10, somebody walks away feeling weird. Either they feel inadequate, or they're resentful, or things just get awkward. There's almost no scenario where both people leave that conversation feeling great. Now look, I spent over a decade working as a real estate consultant before I stepped away at 58. In that world, I needed clients to be upfront with me about their finances so I could actually help them. Same goes for your accountant, your loan officer, your estate lawyer. Those people need the numbers. That's professional. That's necessary. But your neighbor, your cousin at Thanksgiving, your gym buddy. Number 2, and this one can really come back to haunt you. Don't go around telling people you're thinking about leaving your position or winding down your career, because the moment you hand someone that piece of information, you're essentially giving them leverage over you, whether they mean to use it or not. Let's say you confide in a coworker that you're frustrated and you're browsing listings elsewhere. What happens if that coworker lets it slip to management? Now you're on the radar for all the wrong reasons, and you haven't even made a decision yet. Here's the thing, though. There is a right time to bring it up. If you've thought it through, if you've lined everything up, and maybe there are a couple of fixable issues keeping you from being happy where you are, then having that conversation strategically with the right people can actually work in your favor. It can lead to real changes, but that's a deliberate, calculated move, not a casual vent session at lunch. Let me paint a picture. Say you're planning to wind things down and transition out of a role. If word gets around too early, suddenly leadership's coming to you like, hey, we're doing some restructuring, and since you're on your way out anyway, how about wrapping up by the spring? And now you're boxed in. Meanwhile, your company distributes annual bonuses every March, and you just got pushed out the door in February. You lost control of the timeline. Don't let that happen. Share when you're ready, on your terms. All right, number 3. This one I picked up during my years working alongside lawyers in the real estate world. I'm not a lawyer myself. Let me be super clear about that. No, but I watched enough situations unfold to know this is serious. Giving someone power of attorney means you're handing another human being the ability to sign documents for you, manage your money, make legal decisions in your name. That is enormous. And yes, sometimes it's unavoidable. Maybe you've had a medical emergency, a serious accident, something that leaves you unable to handle your own affairs. In that case, absolutely, someone trusted needs to step in. But outside of those situations, be incredibly careful. And here's the big one. If it ever comes to that point, make sure you are the one working with your attorney, not someone else's lawyer, not your daughter's lawyer, not your brother-in-law's buddy who passed the bar, your attorney, someone who has a legal obligation to protect your interests. If a family member comes to you and says, hey mom, hey dad, I need you to sign this power of attorney and you can talk to my lawyer about it. Pump the brakes. That's a red flag. Get your own counsel involved, period. And again, I'm not giving legal or financial advice here, just sharing what I've seen go sideways. Number 4, and honestly, this is the one I've watched destroy people's careers. What you really think about your supervisor or people you seriously dislike. Look, we all have those feelings sometimes. That's human. But the circle of people who should hear those thoughts out loud needs to be tiny. Like your partner at home, sure, that's what they're there for, but beyond that, be so careful. Don't tell coworkers. I've seen it 100 times. Someone vents about their manager to a trusted colleague, and 3 weeks later, it's made its way back to that exact manager. And now you've got a boss who knows you can't stand them, and guess what? They're still the person deciding your assignments, your reviews, your future at that company. Bosses are people too. They've got egos, insecurities, all of it. The last thing you want is for them to feel personally attacked based on something you said carelessly. And it's not just at work. Be careful what you say around younger family members too. I know a guy, 42 years old, had his supervisor over for a barbecue, and his 12-year-old repeated something dad had said about the boss in private. Just blurted it out at the table, totally innocent, no malice at all, but the damage was done. That relationship was never the same, and he ended up having to transfer to a different department within 6 months. Same goes for neighbors, acquaintances, anyone you have a strained relationship with. If you need to express those feelings, do it in a controlled way to the right person at the right time. Don't just let it float out into the world where it can come back and bite you. Okay, number 5, and I'll be honest, I go back and forth on this one because I think the stigma around mental health is real and it's harmful, and part of me wants to encourage openness. But I also have to be practical with you. If you're dealing with a serious ongoing mental health condition, be very selective about who knows. I'll share something personal. When the economy took that rough turn back in 2020 and the housing market went haywire, I experienced real stress for the first time in a way I hadn't before. Couldn't sleep, racing thoughts, the whole thing. I went and talked to a professional about it, got some help, and I'm really glad I did. I've been pretty open about that because it was tied to a specific situation. And honestly, who wasn't stressed during that time? But if I had something deeper, something chronic, something that wasn't attached to a particular event, I'd be a lot more cautious about broadcasting that. And here's why. As much as we'd like to think workplaces are evolved and understanding, the reality, at least here in the States, is that people make judgments. Hiring managers, supervisors, HR departments, they may not say it outright, but if they perceive you as someone with a significant mental health challenge, it can quietly work against you. You might get passed over for a promotion. They might find some unrelated reason to let you go. It's not fair, but it happens. I don't want that to happen to you. Get the help you need. Absolutely, 100%, but protect yourself when it comes to who gets that information. Now here's the bonus I promised, passwords. Do not share your passwords with people. I mean, maybe your spouse, maybe one adult child you trust completely, but even then, be smart about it. Here's what happened to me. About 3 years ago, I realized I was using the same password for almost everything, email, bank accounts, random shopping sites, all the same. And it hit me one day that if I gave someone that password for one thing, they essentially had access to everything. So I started using a password manager. There are several good ones out there commercially, and it completely changed the game for me. Some of them even let you share access to a specific account with another person without them ever actually seeing the password itself. They just log in through the app. That's brilliant because it means you can give someone access when needed without exposing yourself. And remember, your email is basically the master key to your entire digital life. Someone gets into your email, they can reset passwords on everything else. So guard that one especially. So that's it. 5 things to keep to yourself plus 1 bonus. I hope at least one of these saves you from a mistake I either made or watched someone else make. If this was helpful, I've got another video I think you'd really like. I'll leave it right here for you. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Take care of yourselves.